The Super Nintendo Entertainment System, the SNES, or SNES, also known as the Super Famicom in Japan, it was a monumental console for Nintendo. Selling over 49 million units worldwide, it paved the way for gamers to experience the leap from 8-bit to 16-bit. With a vast array of vivid colors, deep stories, and endless hours of enjoyment, the Super Nintendo truly was groundbreaking at the time. This was helped by the fact that Nintendo were creating some incredible games in-house, and their third-party developers, for the most part, would also bring the highest level of quality to their games. Games such as The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, Super Mario World, Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy, and many more would cement the Super Nintendo's well-deserved place in history. Interestingly, the sound chip built into the SNES was supplied by none other than Sony. Ken Kutaragi, who would later be aptly coined the father of the PlayStation, took on a contract at Sony for developing the SSMP sound chip for the SNES. At the time, Sony and Nintendo had a strong relationship, but a later business blunder would see them part ways, though none would consider it amicable. But that is a story for another time. Naturally, the jump from 8 to 16-bit also included a bump in audio capabilities. Soundtrack composers now had some impressive tools at their disposal, allowing for a wide variety of sampling and composing. No longer limited to bleeps and bloops, the SNES sound chip was capable of creating orchestras, rock bands, electronic beats, and much, much more. Many composers solidified their name during this era. We saw work from Koji Kondo writing unforgettable tracks for the Mario and Zelda series, David Wise capturing essences for DKC and DKC2, Yasunori Mitsuda writing emotional masterpieces for Chrono Trigger, and my personal idol, Nobuo Uematsu, known so well for his wonderful Final Fantasy music. We were spoiled to have such breathtaking songs gracing our ears, many of which I haven't heard in well over 25 years, yet I can still recall due to how iconic and memorable they are. Fast forward to today. Plogue, an independent audio software company based in Canada, decided to take on the gargantuan task of creating an entire emulation of the SHCV sound module found inside the SNES. This was no easy feat, and you can tell just how much effort went into creating this plugin. I was stunned when I first heard it. The sound was as one-to-one as you could get. My inner child was deeply grateful for this technology to exist. What I had once heard as a child was now a tool at my disposal. Now, I just want to state for the record, this video is in no way sponsored. I have no affiliation with Plogue. I just have a deep love and appreciation for this plugin, and I wanted to share how fascinating and, in my opinion, important this is. This is single-handedly keeping Super Nintendo music alive at its roots. I've written a few pieces of music just using this plugin, and I'd love to share them with you. But just before that, we're going to take a quick look at the plugin, and I'll show you some of the things that it can do. Okay, here we are inside ChipSynth SFC. This is the beautiful interface, very, very well designed, looks lovely. Of course, it's a Plogue product. It's gonna look nice. That's what they do. So I'm just gonna go over very, very, very quickly just some of the most important features of this plugin. I'm not gonna do a whole rundown because I just wanna show you the music that I've written and then we move on. So, the first thing that you see is the sample window where you can drop in your own samples, and the current one that I've got loaded was sent to me by Soundfunk guy. Shout out to you, man. You sent a fantastic set of SNES, crunchy SNES samples that I can drop in here. And this is a lovely piano sound that we have. Very nice, very SNES-esque. So we also have a bunch of presets down here that come baked in, which is always great, which means you don't have to go and source your own samples. But the cool thing about this plugin in particular is this window here, the player. What you can do is, if you search online and you know where to look, you can find specific original SNES sound files from specific games. So say if you wanted the Final Fantasy III sound file, you can find that online, drop it into here and extract the instruments from the particular track that's playing. So say if you like the strings on the piano melody from the opening theme to the game. You can grab all unique, and you can also grab the echo, the delay that the SNES has, which is iconic sounding. I mean, you recognize it immediately. But I'm sorry I'm rambling and I'm talking really fast. I'm just trying to get through this as quickly as possible. But that is a really, really, really cool feature that you can do with this plugin. And then you can access it here and you can fine tune it. So you've got your attack, decay, sustain, release. You also have a fine tune to adjust the pitch. If say a sample is slightly out of key, you can fine tune it back in. And those to me, those are the two most important things. You have your sample window and you've got all your presets. You also have another load of presets up here. These are just kind of in the background, but you also have all these, which are fantastic sounding. And then you have your channel list, which you have a maximum of 8 channels, it seems. And you can kind of multi-layer stuff, which is great. We also have a couple of different MIDI modes. We have MPE, which is always fantastic. And we have a poly count, so you can have up to 8 poly, which is great. Or you can even switch it straight down to 1 and just have the kind of mono, which you can get some good lead sounds out of. And that's kind of I don't want to talk too much about it. I mean, I just want to kind of show you the capabilities and the music that you can create with this, because it really does have that original SNES sound, which in my opinion is some of the best sounding stuff. I know it's kind of all bit crushed and it's like low res and it's you know, but I love that. I think it's my childhood, and whenever I hear music from that era, it makes me very happy. So with all that being said, shall we have a listen to the stuff that I've written? I think it's about time. Let's take a listen. Whoa, quickfire, Zelda bonus round, Zelda song. Check it, here we go. Play, press play. Hello! Thank you so much for watching and listening. I hope you enjoyed the music. I highly recommend you check out this plugin, especially if you're a fan of the Super Nintendo's tunes. It is worth every penny. I've been using it for several years now, and I only have positive things to say about it. I'm going to do more videos in this style, so be sure to hit subscribe and you can catch the next one. And I'll see you again soon.